HAL's decision to license and produce the Sukhoi Superjet SJ-100 in India represents a strategic leap for the domestic aviation industry. This move aims to jumpstart indigenous passenger jet manufacturing, expand regional connectivity, and position India as a regional aerospace hub. However, the decision carries both notable benefits and complex risks that merit careful analysis. India's Hindustan Aeronautics Limited, or HAL, signed a Memorandum of Understanding in October 2025 with Russia's United Aircraft Corporation, UAC, to locally produce the Sukhoi Superjet SJ-100. This partnership is historic. It marks the first time in more than 30 years a complete civil airliner is set for Indian manufacture, with plans to support the government's UDAN regional connectivity scheme, linking Tier 2 and Tier 3 cities with affordable flights. HAL aims to assemble and eventually localize production for domestic airlines, while also exploring export opportunities across South and Southeast Asia. India's passenger jet manufacturing capability has lain dormant since the Avro era, which spanned from 1961 to 1988. The SJ-100 program rekindles those ambitions, allowing the country to diversify beyond defense aviation and, reduce its reliance on Western passenger jet manufacturers like Airbus and Boeing. The partnership strongly aligns with the government's Atmanirbhar Bharat, or Self-Reliant India, mission. Local production is expected to bolster the domestic supply chain, create skilled jobs, and incentivize high-tech investment, stimulating growth not only for HAL but for private aerospace companies as well. So, India's demand for regional jets is booming, largely driven by the UDAN scheme that aims to connect underserved cities. The SJ-100, which is designed for short-haul flights, is, really well positioned to provide affordable service on these routes. HAL actually estimates that India could need more than 200 regional jets in the next decade, and on top of that, a further 350 jets might be required for short-haul flights across the Indian Ocean region. The Sukhoi SJ-100 is a twin-engine regional jet, and it's capable of carrying up to 100 passengers over distances of around 3,000 to 3,500 kilometers. So, over 200 units are already flying with 16 operators worldwide, which really highlights just how well established this platform is. Thanks to advanced aerodynamics and efficient engines, there's definitely some operational appeal here. But, decisions about the engine type are still up in the air, mainly because of European sanctions on Russia and those ongoing dependencies on imported technology. India's current regional jet market is, honestly, pretty underserved. There are only a handful of Embraer aircraft in operation, especially when you compare that to the dominance of Boeing and Airbus. HAL's move could actually enable fast expansion of regional fleets, helping to fill those gaps in connectivity and offering alternatives where Western suppliers' costs or embargoes might otherwise limit options. If this effort proves successful, India could really leverage its cost-effective manufacturing to export SJ-100s to South Asia, Southeast Asia, and Africa. Plus, the collaboration gives HAL access to new civil aviation technologies and supply chain know-how, which should further enhance the country's aerospace research and development base. India-Russia aviation collaborations have actually suffered setbacks before, most notably with the Multi-Role Transport Aircraft, or MTA, and the Cirrus commuter jet. Both of these projects stalled due to a mix of technological and bureaucratic roadblocks. Ensuring smooth technology transfer, quality control, and certification for international use. These are all persistent challenges that, frankly, continue to demand careful attention. The SJ-100 was originally powered by the Powerjet SAM-146 engine, which is actually based on French technology. But with current geopolitical tensions and Western sanctions, importation and servicing of such engines has become uncertain, and that's really pushing Russia to develop the Aviation PD-8 as an alternative. This creates risks about supply, reliability, and future maintenance for Indian airlines. The SJ-100's operational history includes some reliability concerns, and Russian civilian aircraft are less preferred by commercial operators outside Russia due to parts availability and maintenance issues. Success, honestly, depends on HAL's ability to adapt the platform for Indian conditions, ensure dependable after-sales support, and, well, convince airlines to buy in. Manufacturing a full-scale passenger aircraft locally will, drive aviation skill development, create thousands of jobs in assembly, design, tooling, and allied engineering fields, and also incentivize universities and private players to invest in aerospace research and development. If the venture succeeds, it could pave the way for India to become a regional aerospace exporter, spawn further indigenous passenger jet programs, and, honestly, accelerate the country's transition from a defense-centric to a full-spectrum aviation power. Thanks for watching. If you found the video insightful, hit the like button and subscribe, and I will see you in the next video.